talk about any manager, what is the most important part of a managerial duty? What does a manager do? The most important part of a manager's job is managing, of course. Of course, day-to-day operation, yeah, that is easier said. But a manager takes risks. That is the key word. A manager takes risk. Not all managers, but entrepreneurs, right? Not all managers are entrepreneurs, but all entrepreneurs are managers, right? So risk goes with entrepreneurship. Risks goes with entrepreneurship. All right? So we'll be talking quite a bit about risk management, the difference between risk and uncertainty. At the end of the course, we'll be talking about expected value and all that. Okay? So I have one of those discussion board questions for you about managing risks by a manager. There are financial risks, right? That is different from economic risks, right? And then there are other kind of risks. So when you talk about risks, then one of the things that managers also do is managers actually get involved. Somebody said day-to-day operation. Managers get involved in the total management. So TQM, total management quality, right?
Total quality management.
So all of those things is part of managerial economics. And as we go from chapter 1 to whatever chapter we go, we will be dealing with all of these concepts. Now, what I want to do at this point is talk a little bit about fundamental concepts of microeconomics. Since managerial economics is all micro or mostly micro, let's talk a little bit about the demand theory tonight. Okay? So let's start with the law of demand. And the book actually starts with the law of demand in chapter 3, the consumer demand theory. The consumer demand theory is a little bit advanced, so let's start with the law of demand. Some of you have taken microeconomics before, so you know the definition, right? First of all, demand. Demand itself implies ability and willingness of a consumer to buy a specified amount of a quantity at a specified times, right? So just because you might want something does not constitute demand. So there are two things, right? Ability and willingness. Ability comes first. For example, if any of you tell me tonight that you have a demand for a Rolls Royce, I will right away say you don't. Why? Because if you had such a demand, you would not be in my class tonight. You will be doing something else. If some of you tell me that you have a demand for a Toyota Corolla or a Ford F-150, yes, because you are both able and willing to fulfill that particular need, right? That's just the definition of demand, ability and willingness of the consumer to buy a specified quantity of goods at a specified time. Now, when you talk about law of demand, the word is law. That is it's a high-sounding word, right? The law of demand. We call it law because it's a universal human trait, okay? It is so universal that we call it a law. So we define it the following way. I'm not going to write this or not going to dwell too much about it. It is just a refresher for anybody who may not have had any economics before. Okay? The law of demand is defined in the following way. It says, other things remaining same, there is an inverse or opposite relationship between price and quantity demanded. If you say the same thing in a different way, you can say other things remaining same, when the price of a commodity goes down, more of it will be demanded and vice versa. That's the law of demand, right? So there are two variables. So there are two things here, and I'm going to go to a new whiteboard and highlight this, right? Write these two things. The first is the qualification, other things. In various books, they go by various names. Other things remaining same. Other things remaining same. So we qualify that everything that is related to a person's quantity demanded, we hold them constant, and then we zero in on two variables, right? Quantity and price.